Hello and welcome. As discussed a little bit in class, we are taking a diversion from our regular course instruction just for one day to talk about the forest. So there's a reason we're going over this, but right now I just want you to listen to my presentation about goods from the woods. So North Carolina's forests are among the state's most valuable natural resource, with 61% of our state covered in forest areas. We look to our trees for social, environmental, and economic benefits. Beyond these benefits, forests can provide a variety of ecosystem services like clean air, clean water, healthy soil, cool shade, habitats for wildlife, and climate regulation. Trees are renewable resources, meaning that it can be replaced or replenished after used. Unlike other major building materials like steel and concrete, we can replant and replace trees. The forest products industry in North Carolina is responsible for over 5,000 products we use every day. So lumber, cardboard boxes, paper, sports equipment, medicine, and even cosmetics all have one thing in common, and that's wood. So we're going to be discussing today just briefly about some goods from the woods. So some of the products that we have that come from the woods, maybe some that you wouldn't even think about at all. Forestry plays a major role in North Carolina, known as the birthplace of modern forest management. Our state is responsible for bringing sustainable forest practices into our country. The Biltmore School of Forestry began in Asheville, NC, and served as the first forestry school in the country. Now, over 100 years later, we are listed as the first in forestry state and continue to be at the forefront of creating a sustainable forestry model that allows our forests to stay healthy and productive for the future. So this is awesome. We have a lot to learn from what the forest can offer us. As the presentation was just talking about, as I read to you, there are a lot of goods that come from our forests. Not only that, but North Carolina, because it is covered, about 61% of the state is covered in forest, we have learned how to use the forest for our own benefits as humans, but also how to preserve the forest so that it is a lasting and renewable resource for us. So, welcome. What did you use today that was made from wood? You might not know. You might have said something or thought something along the lines of paper towels, paper plates. I don't know, maybe you used a wooden spoon to cook your eggs this morning, something like that. But like I talked about, did you know that about 5,000 we use we use 5,000 products that are made from wood each day? Imagine what it'd be like to go through a day without a forest product. Not only would you not have a house to live in, but you'd also not have a car, or your car would not have a steering wheel. You'd not have orange juice for breakfast, or a desk or a pencil at school. You wouldn't have a bat for baseball practice, or some musical instruments. Wood products play a vital role in our lives, whether that be for our entertainment or just functionality in general, or shelter, habitat. With proper stewardship or responsibility and management, our forests will continue to provide all these benefits for generations to come. So we're learning about this because I would like you to grow up and be responsible citizens and take care and support environmental acts that help further this forest instead of kind of taking advantage of it in a way that it's not going to grow back anymore. So today we're going to learn about goods from the woods and the important connection we have to our natural resources through a series of games. It's really just one game because you're not with me in class. Tell me or predict for me which of these products are made from the woods. You can pause the video, maybe write it down for a second. Okay? I'm going to give you the answers, so please be sure you have some written down. The answer is actually all of them. So if you were going through and maybe guessing which of these products were made from materials or made from trees or have materials in them that are made from trees, you probably have guessed the wood. You probably would have guessed the pecan and probably the paper towels and maybe the cork. But I doubt you would have guessed Oreos, and I'm pretty sure you wouldn't have guessed gum or ink. That's writing ink, right? You might have guessed cinnamon. And you might have guessed rubber bands, but you might not have thought of sunscreen or toothpaste. But actually, all of these products were made from a tree in some way, shape, or form. So some of them used the cellulose, so the chemical in there that makes the trees tough, like our paper products. Some of them use things like rubber, with our rubber bands that is derived from trees. And some of them use the roots, use substances found in the roots. But all of them in one shape or form were made from a tree, right? So like the pecan, that is actually the seed of the tree. So if we would have left it be and not eaten it, another tree could have grown from it, right? So there's lots of good and important things that you can learn from the, there's lots of good and important things that we get from trees. So it's really important that we properly manage our forests and that we become better environmental citizens and know how to use the forest in such a way that it will return and be there for years and years to come. So here's why we are talking about this. You have, when I release it to you, you will see it, an assignment. It's optional, but I would love for you to do it. As of right now, it's optional. I might change my mind, and we might have it more later. So there is a contest right now going on. It's called the NC Forestry Essay. I'm going to ask you to complete an essay about trees. The NC Forestry Department is near and dear to my heart, so of course we want to be involved in what they're doing. Here's the prize. Here's the good stuff. So every year they have an annual essay contest, and they're awarding the winning student a $200 gift card. What you need to do, so we are in the wrong one. We are not in, because 9th grade is different than 8th grade, so you're competing with 6th, 7th, and 8th graders, I believe. Okay, so I'm going to ask you to complete an essay about trees, same prize. Here's what you're going to do. In 400 words or less, you're going to research an everyday product made from trees in North Carolina. I'd like you to describe how it is made and how the item has helped you in your daily life. Need help thinking of an idea? Here's a list. So the list is going to come up. Here's a list. So you've got wood products like fuel, for like charcoal and wood, and then you've got cork, which we talked about. You've got rayon and other fabrics, thickening agents like shampoos, suntan lotion, cosmetics. Okay, there's a good idea of some goods from the woods that you could pick. So you're going to pick one of them, and you're going to describe how it's made. So you're going to do some research, and you're going to cite your sources. And then how the item has helped you in your daily life. Would you be able to function without the item? Why is it important to you? I believe the more creative you are with this, the better chance you have of winning that prize. So also see links at the NC Forestry website for more ideas. Scroll down to the bottom site for resources. So here's the forestry website. If you scroll all the way down, here's some resources for you to use. Ta-da! Okay, this is due on October 16th, so I have time to look over them before the submission on October 23rd. So we submit them on October 23rd. You will find out if you win, I think, in January. So this is a long-term project, something I want you to do today for your assignment. All that I would like you to do is to please write one good from the woods that you have learned today through this lecture. All right, have a great day, guys.